Welcome back to another video. Now, why should you pay any attention to this hero with 1,000 faces thing? This idea of this difference in who you are and having this almost blended approach to reality? Well, if you want to win, if you want to be a leader, if you want to understand yourself, having these different pockets of reference within your own self is absolutely vital. If you can only build relationships with a small number of people, it's going to be difficult to go very far. How are you going to orchestrate something? How are you going to design or create something or bring something complex and worthwhile into fruition unless you can have those different approaches, unless you can understand different people's perspectives, unless you can bring the best of yourself out to help other people? Then it's going to be challenging. Your hero's journey, your story to tell about gargantuan undertaking of your own life is difficult enough. But by bringing in different perspectives, by having other people help you on your journey, now hopefully you don't need 1,000 faces in total, but the more perspectives you can bring, the more little pockets of understanding you can have in your life, the easier your life is going to be. Doesn't matter if you're talking to your accountant or a solicitor or an editor, maybe a teacher or your boss, doesn't matter. And what you don't want to happen is somebody to be navigating your perspective, for you to be trying to get somewhere but trying to get through somebody else's permission or somebody else's wall of perception. So for example, say you want a raise or you want something to happen in your life and somebody simply tells you what they want you to hear, which keeps you in that position and stops you from moving forwards. As a very simple example, when you're buying a house or if you're selling a house, somebody walks into a room and says, "Oh, it's a bit big." What does the real estate agent say? It's airy, it's light. A positive spin on things, just to change your belief, just to change your perception. And that's a very gentle introduction to how this kind of thinking works. And if you want to be a leader, if you want to run a business, having the right people in the right place is absolutely essential. We become our full selves through these different perceptions that we work with. And having this 1,000 faces is an extremely powerful tool, because all it means is you can help other people, you can provide, you can see what they want and you can help them, which in turn helps you. And that's how the cycle works. This isn't deception or lying, although some people will do that, so you've got to be careful of who you kind of spend time with. But in general, if you use it in a positive spin, it's going to help you over the long run 10 times, 100 times more than simply lying to somebody to get what you want so you can get to where you want to be, say, tomorrow. That only works for a very short space of time, so I wouldn't bother indulging in it. It can get you into a space that you actually don't want to be, because you find yourself in a situation you forced yourself in, but because you've twisted the fabric of reality, you're kind of stuck in that. And until you can unwind that, until you can face yourself, until you can face what you've done, so this 1,000 faces thing, this other people's perception thing, is not to be toyed with, because you've got to use it for a positive outcome. You've got to use it for something that benefits everyone, because if you're using it for selfish gains, okay, fine, but you might find yourself a bit lost and a little bit alone. So the lesson for today is all the answers are inside, and seeing the same land through 100 pair of eyes, understanding this hero with 1,000 faces and this hero's journey thing, how your identity can get projected onto the world, and you go about changing the world to change who you are. Maybe your job or your car or your relationships, whatever. Ultimately, at some point there has to be some reconciliation to say, actually, that stuff doesn't make me who I am. And if you don't reconcile with it, what I believe, it will just get passed down to the next generation and the next generation and the next. So at some point along the line, somebody will have to do it. These 1,000 faces exist in who you are. All it really means is relationships, supporting others, helping them get to where they want to be. And that will help you find out who you are and make you a fantastic leader. You will find all the answers inside.